So let's look at our stretch for pectoralis, your chest muscle, okay? So you're going to need like, a corner of a wall. That's, preferable. A door frame. I've got the pole of a tiki. The lighting's really better out here, and it's a little bit toasty today, so if I'm glowing a little bit, it's not, it's just because it's about 97 degrees. So I'm doing pretty well that I'm not a pool of water on the floor at the moment. But so that's what you need. As I say, a door frame, the edge of a wall, or as I say, anything that you can get your arm behind. And basically you want to stand so that you have your elbow in line with your shoulder. So you don't want it too high or too low. You also want to make sure that you're not completely behind it, okay? So kind of just to the edge, but enough that the actual wall or door frame is kind of holding the arm. And then you want to make sure you've got your distance. So if I actually turn my back on you, I don't want to be crunched in here. I want to be back. And I also don't want my shoulder forward. I want to draw the shoulder girdle down. So I don't want it here. I want that shoulder girdle drawn downwards. So I want to anchor my through the shoulder girdle and use serratus to really sort of anchor this in and hold it in a nice stabilized position. So elbow in line with the shoulder, get your distance, and then the leg nearest the wall or the door frame you want to step forward with. And you lean into the stretch. So basically you're thinking about the origin of the muscle, the sternum, moving forward, okay? It's not pulling it this way. I'm actually just moving the sternum forward. So I'm moving origin away from insertion and anchoring. You're going to look forward. So don't look down at the floor, look forward and get a nice stretch through the chest. And you'll be able to feel it straight away. If you're starting to get some tingling towards the fingers, don't panic about that. Just move the fingers and then just lean into it a little bit more or back off a touch, but just keep moving the fingers. You also want to think about them when you're in the stretch and you think, okay, that's fine, I've got the stretch, I could probably go a little bit further. We're going to move the sternum away a little bit. So I'm going to turn my head and the sternum follows, okay? So we create more distance between origin and insertion. Now I don't lean back as I do it. I still keep the weight forward and turn. So the head can turn, the toes can turn a little bit, the body can turn, and you're just getting a really nice stretch for pectoralis. Breathing fully, looking forward, try not to drop the head towards the floor. Just hold it there. As I say, if you're getting that tingling, just relax it. You're going to gently ease off. I'm just going to show you, from the side here as well. So I'm going to lean into it, looking forward, abdominals tight, and getting a nice stretch for the chest muscle. So that is your stretch for pectoralis. We're going to do the other side. I'm going to stay on the same side because it's easier, as I say, for me flipping around and start pausing the video. So you change sides. Same thing then. Elbow in line with the shoulder, just like hook the arm, don't have it too far behind, enough that it's just holding it there. You want to draw the shoulder girdle back and down, don't have it sort of pull forward, anchor it down. So these muscles, serratus is holding, you've got the trap pulling in, you've got the lats, drawing the shoulder girdle down and anchoring it. So we've got a nice stable position to work from. The leg nearest the wall or door frame or whatever you're using steps out in front and you lean into it. So you kind of just dip into that muscle a little and you're going to feel that stretch across the chest. Remember, if you're getting tingling or a little bit of numbness, just move your fingers, it's fine. When you're ready, and only if you're ready, if this is enough stretch, you stay here, okay? If you want to increase the intensity of the stretch, focus on the origin moving away from its insertion point. So we actually turn the sternum away and we create that space between origin and insertion. But I'm not leaning back on it. I actually stay pushing into the belly of the muscle, and as I turn, so I kind of make an arc if you think about it. So I'm actually pushing around and through, getting a nice stretch. And once again, I'll just turn side on and you just lean into the stretch and get a really good stretch, and then turning away, turning the feet slightly, turning your hips, abdominals tight, shoulder girdle back in time. When you're ready, come off. And I want you actually, and I should have said this beforehand, so excuse me if I didn't, but maybe you watched this through before you actually did it. Check, have a look in the mirror, you know, when you finished, and look at the difference between my two sides. Can you see how this arm, this shoulder is like higher than the other? This arm is actually, if I pull back, you can see that it's longer. Yeah, so this arm is longer than the other one. Because when we have got, you know, that sort of roll forward, so what I did is I took that sort of this shoulder from this position to, well, actually I did this one, sorry. I'm opposite, so you know, bear with me. So it actually, we take the arm and drop it down and back, as opposed to when pectoralis is tight, draws the arm here. The other thing that pectoralis do, so I'd like you to go and check that, because you know, you can definitely, you know, see it on me, you know, that's sort of in a different position. And pectoralis, when pectoralis is tight as well, as said, the arms can drop forward, so it sort of just opens out that shoulder girdle. So that's your stretch for pectoralis. Really great stretch, really important for anybody who suffers with neck and shoulder pain and issues. So a very important stretch for you if you have sort of upper body neck and shoulder pain.